On January 4, 2022, I received an important update about ancient space arcs being discovered on the Moon, Mars, Antarctica, and other locations in our solar system. According to Thor Han Eredyon, a Galactic Federation commander whose messages are relayed through a former professional French archaeologist, Elena Danaan, these huge space arcs are activating due to the recent arrival of a large fleet of spacecraft belonging to an intergalactic confederation parked in the vicinity of Jupiter and its moon Ganymede. Thor Han's update is startling corroboration for information recently released by my US Army insider JP, who visited one of these activated space arcs on the moon in joint secret missions being conducted by the US, China, and other members of an Earth alliance led by US Space Command. Elena passed on to me the following message she received from Thor Han early Tuesday morning about the activation of these ancient space arcs. Quote, January 4, 2022. At 1 a.m. I am contacted by Thor Han telepathically via my implant. Thor Han, I have clearance to answer your questions about the ancient vessels that activated, those studied by the Terran scientists. It is exciting to watch them and to guide them as they uncover a past that was hidden for long millenniums. Terran culture has been ready for a long time, but now that threatening shadows are leaving your world, truth can be unveiled in the open. Finally, the Earth Alliance unfolds the plan elaborated together with the Intergalactic Confederation and the Galactic Federation of Worlds of Nataru, exposing what was hidden until this day. A long time ago, the Intergalactic Confederation had several colonies in this star system. On Nara, Venus, Terra, its moon, Tyre, Mars, and the fifth planet, great wars occurred when the Anunnaki and the colonies left. But before leaving, they gathered the essentials of their knowledge in arks they buried deep on the planets I mentioned. These arks preserved the essential information necessary to rebuild the glory of these colonies, if one day this was to happen. End quote. Thor Han's information corroborates what JP was told in a classified briefing he attended before departing for a moon mission on December 23, 2021, which I discussed in an article 1 week later. JP entered the giant spherical spacecraft, estimated to be over 2 aircraft carriers in size, accompanied by an archaeologist studying its hieroglyphic-style writing. JP was one of the military escorts accompanying scientists from the US and China sent to investigate the spacecraft that had activated. There have been several people wondering about the rather mundane roles JP has played in covert missions to Ganymede and the Moon, given his low military rank and rather dreary armed escort duties for scientists. One of the things JP shared in our communications since 2008 is that he was often taken by human-looking extraterrestrials into large hemisphere structures, which he described as arcs. He witnessed ancient plants, animals and technologies that were being preserved for a future time. He also said that he met several other individuals being taken to these arcs, one of whom was a Chinese national. JP said he was taken to these large arcs for a time when they would become important for humanity in dealing with planet-wide contingencies. JP began sharing this information with me around 2014 and 2015, and I kept this information to myself since no one else was talking about it. US covert operatives, however, monitored JP's extraterrestrial contacts and our communications. This leads me to believe that JP is doing far more than simply escorting scientists to these ancient arcs and performing mundane military escort duties. Due to his earlier access, he carries some energetic frequency, vibration, or code that facilitates the safety and success of missions to these ancient space arcs. Thor Han's reference to arcs belonging to ancient intergalactic confederation colonies that were forced to leave millennia ago due to great wars in our solar system is also very revealing. Just as Egypt's Sphinx has long been rumored to be a repository of ancient Atlantean technology, so too there are technological repositories of ancient cultures hidden throughout our solar system. It's helpful to keep in mind that the Atlantean civilization was said to be an offshoot of one of the 24 extraterrestrial civilizations making up the Intergalactic Confederation. According to the Council of Nine information channeled through Phyllis Schlemmer in her book The Only Planet of Choice, Althea established the Atlantis colony on Earth. Thor Han's information is telling us that Althea and other extraterrestrial cedar races have similar colonies scattered and hidden throughout our solar system. Thor Han continued his message as follows, quote, "When the fleet from the Intergalactic Confederation approached this star system, the arcs activated. It was time. The return of the Cedars marks the beginning of a new era, when Terrans are ready to receive the long-hidden knowledge. No rules are broken when the Terrans make their own research and discover the keys by themselves. You understand, this knowledge and technology couldn't fall into the wrong hands. The arrival of the Cedars occurred when the enemy had lost all power and possession in this star system. The time is right now. Also, I was authorized to tell you that 2 great archaeological discoveries are imminent on Terra this year. It will change the way Terrans look at the chronology of their history. What they believe was truth carved in stone will flow like water." End quote. Thor Han's message reveals that these ancient arcs were well hidden and kept away from the Dark Fleet and its extraterrestrial allies that until recently dominated our planet. Most importantly, the Cabal or Deep State that control powerful secret space programs looked for these arcs but were unable to find these ancient vessels. Now that the Dark Alliance has been forced to leave our solar system, the hidden ancient technologies are being activated so they can be found and explored by the Earth Alliance that was created in July 2021 as a result of the Jupiter Agreements. Now the time has arrived for these technologies to be openly shared so humanity can learn about long-forgotten extraterrestrial colonies, their advanced cultures and technologies before devastating wars led to their demise. Elena next had a Q&A with Thor Han. Elena, what you just said, this last sentence, it's a metaphor that foretells a story, right? I know you. What they believed was truth, carved in stone will flow like water. Thor Han laughs. Can you talk about what is in these arcs? Thor Han, great technology that will change everything. Elena, what do these arcs look like? Thor Han, elongated and some are miles long. Crystal technology. Elena, what do you mean? Thor Han, the Intergalactic Confederation largely uses crystalline materials to transcend densities, that a built structure can simultaneously exist in several densities. Elena, such as the crystalline architecture I saw inside of the motherships of the Intergalactic Confederation. Does that mean these ships are solid in different densities at the same time? Thor Han, correct. Terrans haven't yet discovered all the capacities of crystals. Core engines are powered by crystals. Portals are made of fluid crystals, time devices, pyramidal energy generators, and more. These density belts that we wear are made with nanocrystals, the fabric of our suits, our weapons, the skin of our ships. End quote. What's crucial here is that JP said that when he entered one of these arcs found on the moon by China's U-22, the crystal inside of it was moldavite. He said it contained a pleasant vibration that helped elevate consciousness. It's very possible, given JP's earlier exposure to arcs, that he carried the right frequency that would be recognized by the arc's consciousness. The Q&A continued. Elena, so these buried ships have activated at the arrival of the Intergalactic Confederation. Thor Han, they received a signal and responded by resonance due to the simple proximity of the mother fleet. Remember what I showed you, certain ships are living entities. They woke up. Although your people knew already about some of these locations, we'll have some clues for them to find. The Dark Fleet found one of these arcs under the ice of Antarctica, but they could never activate its power and use its potential. One of the reasons why the Intergalactic Confederation was waiting. End quote. This is very meaningful given that JP received coordinates from an unnamed lieutenant colonel that pointed to a structure in Antarctica that was in an area used by the Dark Fleet until recently. Could the apparent structure shown in the coordinates be linked to one of the arcs hidden underneath or nearby? Another possible location emerges from the testimony of two special operators that spoke with veteran UFO researcher Lyndon Moulton Howe and whose testimonies were released in January 2019. They revealed their participation in missions conducted in 2003 to a massive octagon-shaped structure found near Beardmore Glacier, Antarctica. This is how Howe initially reported the discovery. Quote, in 2003, a US Navy SEAL Special Operations team travelled to Antarctica to investigate a perfectly geometric 8-sided octagon structure discovered by ground-penetrating radar near Beardmore Glacier, about 93 miles from the American McMurdo Station. Another previous team of engineers and scientists had dug out the top layer of one octagon made of a pure black substance that was built on top of two more black octagonal structures that went down deep into the 2-mile thick ice. End quote. Only part of the octagon-shaped structure, the Navy SEALs stated, had been uncovered so far by the archaeological teams, with the rest buried under the ice and extending far below into the ice sheet. Ground-penetrating radar had shown the structure to be an octagon in shape and covering an area of 62 acres, about half a square kilometre. The Navy SEAL described the walls and doors as being covered by hieroglyphs that were about 8 inches or 20 centimetres high and about 2 inches or 5 centimetres deep. The hieroglyphs were neither Egyptian nor Mayan, but appeared similar to both in terms of depicting animals and other strange symbols. Similarly, JP said that the large spacecraft he witnessed on the moon was filled with hieroglyphs that were being recorded by the archaeologist he escorted. This makes it possible that the ancient octagon structure described by the Navy SEAL was one of the arcs discovered by the Deep State and their Dark Fleet allies. Elena continued her Q&A with Thor Han. Elena, how many arcs are on Earth? Thor Han, I'm not allowed to tell you, and don't try to read my mind. Elena, I won't. You know, I respect the rules, but I know already there is one in Egypt, somewhere. Thor Han, South America, Central Europe, northwest of Russia, one under the waters of the Atlantic Ocean. This one is the biggest. There are others as well, but I won't tell any precise coordinates. It is not my responsibility, but that of the Earth Alliance. Elena, you won't be in trouble, right? Thor Han, no. What I am telling you is validated by my superiors. Since you were calibrated on military frequency, they are listening to all our conversations passing through your device. Elena, is there anything else that you can tell me that the world doesn't know yet? Thor Han, each revelation comes in time. There is a plan. Terran civilians will come this year to the complete realization and acceptance of other positive galactic cultures. Politically, many changes are underway, but I must say no more for the safety of the plan. The Earth Alliance is in charge of pretty much everything. Be patient. Elena, thank you. I will pass on this info to Michael. Thor Han, give him my warm salutations. One day we will meet, but not yet. End quote. Thor Han's statement that this year, 2022, will be when there will be complete realization and acceptance of other positive galactic cultures is very telling, given that the Galactic Federation has sophisticated time travel technologies it can utilize for its future projections. His optimistic statement indicates that the Deep State's hold on political power around the planet is crumbling and that soon the walls of secrecy will collapse. Consequently, the Intergalactic Confederation and other extraterrestrial races will be revealed to the public in joint disclosures coordinated with the Earth Alliance and US Space Command. Critically, some of these disclosures will involve announcements about the discovery of advanced technologies found in ancient arcs that were built by humanity's ancestors many millennia ago. This has been Dr. Michael Salla with Exopolitics Today. I wish to thank Elena Danaan for forwarding Thor Han's update to me for analysis and distribution. To learn more about the Galactic Federation, I've created a page on my website you can visit with a list of articles and podcasts about its operations. I also recommend my webinar on galactic federations, councils and secret space programs, which is now available on Vimeo. Please remember to like and subscribe to my Exopolitics Today podcast.